Hello, Charger Nation, and welcome to the Charger Career Connect series. I'm John Mays, your Associate Athletic Director, and I'm joined by Rob Thompson, a football alum of the Chargers, the mighty Chargers back in the late 80s. And we're excited to welcome you to this first episode in the series of Chargers Career Connect, where we will connect you with alumni, past and present Chargers, and try and really draw the line between what you're doing right now as a current Charger and what you're going to get into for your career, and really the exploration process kind of get you on the right path. And I think that really Rob can explain it in a way that gives us some clarity as far as what these next 12 weeks are going to be for our fall, and then what the future of Charger Career Connect can be. So Rob, I'll kick it over to you to give some background of what this series can do for our student athletes.
Sure. I think the first thing is that it's all about the discovery, and it's hard enough to get a job and to kind of figure out your career when the world is normal. But when the world is abnormal, it's so difficult. It adds one more thing on your plate that sometimes, and most of you really don't want to address right now. And we're going to help you with that, but we're going to make it comfortable in the sense that we want to bring you as much information. So this transition process from playing to then the career is going to be as seamless as possible for you.
Rob, tell me about your own career, which I think your career, I know quite a bit about it, but I think that it will inform our audience about kind of why you decided to get so heavily involved with our career program here.
Yeah, because I was someone that always struggled. I struggled with school academically. I have dyslexia. So, in UNH, I was able to kind of change that around and find somebody that could help me once I got here. Didn't know I had it. But I always kind of had this inner, direction where I didn't know what was next. I mean, my parents weren't college educated and, blue collar people. So it was kind of on your own. And I felt like sometimes those of us who feel like they're on their own, who had to raise yourself, or whatever your circumstances are, your career path and that transition from college into your career was something that I knew I needed help with. So I wrote a book, How to Land a Dream Job If Your Dad Doesn't Own the Team, just for that reason. I basically wanted to give myself advice back when I was 18, 19 years old, kind of trying to figure out what was next. And I wrote that book for student athletes, really, to help them bring a little clarity and practicality to that next step, and basically let them take a deep breath and realize, don't panic. You got time, but we're going to help you with the building blocks and the foundation of kind of what is next. So as regards to my career, again, I was kind of lost. So I was a criminal justice major and a law enforcement degree, and one of our adjuncts ran a detention facility down in New Haven. So when I was done playing, I was lucky enough to play after college and finished up over in Europe and retire. I came back and jumped into that as a career, and coached college a little bit, but I worked in a juvenile detention facility, and I was on the job for a number of years, realized this wasn't for me. And then I went into coaching and started my own college scouting business. So I was scouting high school players and referring them over. So it was a startup. My first startup was when I was 23 years old. Luckily, I transitioned over to work for the NFL, running their youth development programs, which is called Play Football, or Play 60 now, but it was Play Football back then. Worked for the NFL for a very long time. Went on to work in the Arena Football League, and then worked for the Walt Disney Company. Started another business called North American Sports Group, and then semi-retired, sold the business, and then I came back to University of New Haven 4 years ago.
So your career, one word that we hear a lot kind of in the career exploration process is pivoting, right? It sounds like you've pivoted and kind of adjusted throughout your career. That's something that we'll talk a lot with our student athletes about throughout this series, and how you can, just because you're choosing a major or you're choosing that first job out of college doesn't mean that just because you're going to work for some financial firm or wherever it might be right out of college that you're going to end up there 50 years later, right? So I think that's a great example. If you could give me a real quick synopsis, a mission statement of sorts of what you think this Chargers Career Connect is.
Yeah, so I think the basic is really just a quote. It's, you're going to figure out what you don't like to do long before you discover a career that you love. So let's start there, all right? And that's going to tell you that you have a runway. And your runway will shorten down if you pay attention to the services and the sport that you have right now, with people like John and myself and other people that are here to support you. So the mission is to really empower you guys to go through that discovery process, discover where your talents, where your effort times, your energy and your attitude is going to really determine your career. And that's career as a college student, as a student athlete, in life, and as a business career. So all of these things we'll dive into, but it's not going to be shoved down your throat about internships and resume building and LinkedIn. We could slowly go over that as the year goes on and progresses, but we want to introduce you to people and have them tell you their story, that are mentors, that are former student athletes here, that sat in the same chairs as you have and you are right now. They're going to help you maybe spark an idea, say it's all right, that person has faced the same thing I faced. And we're going to be able to tell some stories through the first semester to give you that discovery process to hopefully shed some light on things that you may be thinking in the back of your mind.
So this isn't a jab at you, but I was a student athlete much more recently than you were. And I think that I think I can relate to kind of what we're trying to do here. I had some mentors along the way, kind of some people that, when I was a freshman, there were some seniors that I certainly looked up to, and they helped me with classes and how to study, how to get into that sort of thing. The one piece that I really did think I was missing, I didn't quite know it at the time, was an alumni connection, right? People who went through what I went through and kind of experienced the same stuff and could reach back to me and help me along that process, because I was someone who, coming out of college, I had no idea what I wanted to do, right? Like I was looking at any option, going and playing basketball overseas or getting into coaching, kind of like you. But really I was looking to do that to fill the time until I figured out what I really wanted to do. I didn't quite know that I could make a career out of that. So having someone to just share their story and to provide some guidance is huge.
Yep.
And we'll have a new alumni on just about every week. And thankfully for our listeners and our viewers out there, I'm going to take a back seat as I should be doing. And I'm going to allow Rob and whoever our weekly guest is to come on and really share some of their expertise, some of their knowledge, and help you hopefully along the way. So
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
you're good at that. You're really good at cutting me off, Rob. It's like we talk on the phone probably 3 to 4 times a day, and usually I don't get a word in. So right now I'm just rolling.
Well, I mean, at least you get a word in. When you talk to Dr. Z, you get nothing in.
No, that's purely listening. There's no one on the other end of that call.
No Cheppy. Hey, so to kind of go off of that, play a little color commentator on that one. It is really about trying everything, and if you have an opportunity to do that, to do it, number one. Number two is your first job is going to be a connection through UNH. It's going to be because of UNH. And it could be a job that may not be your career dream job, but it probably will. That's the leverage of going. Your jobs after that probably won't have anything to do with UNH and a connection back to the school. Now it's up to you. So the first one, you need to lean into the people around you, your coaches, your professors, administrators, people that you feel like you resonate with and that there's a connection to you. We'll talk a lot about finding 4 different mentors during your time here. And there's 4 ones, for each of them play a different role in those mentorships. And they're going to be the ones that are going to help you with your discovery, your connections, and landing those first jobs.
That's a unique point. I think unless you have a specific connection through your family or somewhere else, it's almost guaranteed that your first job out of college is going to be because of someone you meet while you're on campus or connected to campus. So that's a great point. And I think a good way to kind of wrap up this introductory episode, we're really just hoping to introduce this Career Connect series to you today. Look forward to future episodes. We're going to release them at the same time every week so that you can stay up to date. And I know that you'll be eagerly awaiting the next episode. So we're going to release these at 6 p.m. on Wednesday nights. So be sure to check out our social media pages and look for those to drop. Rob, any final parting words?
Yeah, so it's R Thompson, THOMPSON. You see my name down there at newhaven.edu to reach out with it. When you reach out, there is a link there to be able to set up one-on-one calls through Zoom calls through my office hours. And also at Rob Thompson Live is my handle for Instagram and Twitter. So you can follow kind of my journey on that as well.
Rob Thompson Live. Love it.
You know, at least I'm not dead yet.
Not
I'm still
dead
here.
yet.
No, I'm still here.
You got to hang on another 12 weeks.
I got a lot of jobs I got to help these guys get. So
that's right.
let's do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Johnny.